It is the Spencer Tiger pregame show on News Radio 102.5 and AM 1240 KICD. Playoff basketball for the Tigers starting off the postseason by hosting the Webster City Lynx. I'm joined now by Matt Stevenson, the head coach of the Spencer Tigers. All right, Coach Stevenson, Webster City is about 2 hours away from us, so we don't get to hear or see much about them throughout the season. What can you tell us about this Lynx team and what Tiger fans should expect to see tonight?
Well, I mean, they're about the direct opposite of what we are. I mean, they play a lot of zones, 2-3 zones, and 1-3-1 that's really packed in. Their whole objective is to try to keep the score, in the 40s if they can. And, offensively, they're going to work the ball around until they get, their perfect shot. So, we've got to find ways to get them to play at our tempo, play at our pace. So with that being said, we're going to try to press a bunch. We're going to switch defenses up. Hopefully we can confuse them, into making some silly mistakes. But again, they will have a chance to stay in a basketball game if you allow them to, like I said, play at their pace. So that's got to be our objective. We got to get rebounds and we got to get, out and running and try to beat them down before they can set up in their zone, and hopefully we can get some easy buckets that way.
Coach, from a mentality perspective, how do you prefer to approach the postseason? Because in the back of your mind that these games mean more, but you want to take that mentality, I'm sure, of trying to do things the same that you do in the regular season. How do you find that fine line?
Yeah, and it's difficult, but I mean, I think these kids are mature enough and they start to understand the implications of what tournament basketball is going to be like. Most of them have played in tournament situations in volleyball and in soccer and softball and those types of things. The big thing is just, trying to not get away from what you get or what we do best. And, you start to, if a game's tight, they got to understand that we still got to play team basketball. That's what got us here in the first place and why we've been playing so well. So, as far as coaching-wise, I mean, our mentality isn't changing a lot. I mean, at this type of the season, you're not going to add much or take much out. You're going to, throw out there what you got, and hopefully it works out for you. So, I think more or less the girls are just excited to get on the floor tonight, to get a game under their belt and, hopefully advance to that next round.
Coach, I've been looking at some of the Tigers' stats for, now an entire season's worth of a sample size, and we've seen Allison Piercy continue to shoot the ball well and continue to shoot the ball even better as the season's gone on. Allison is now up to over 40% from three, and she's made over 43s this season. And now that we get into the postseason, you start to think a little bit more about scouting reports and what other teams are going to do when they match up with you. Is it to the point almost with Allison where she's going to start drawing defenders away from other people, with that term we hear in the NBA, gravitational pull, because she's shooting the ball so well?
Yeah, I mean, that's, if I'm coaching against her, that's what, I'm going to be trying to do, try to take her away the best that you can. And, so I think the big thing with her, I think, moving forward is just being patient. And if she's patient and she's not trying to force things, we've got some other kids that can really shoot it and score well. And then once that happens, they're going to start to have those, loosen up on her, and that's when she'll start to get her shots back. So, she just got to understand that early on in those games, she's got to stay real patient. She doesn't need to force anything. I mean, she's a good basketball player, good passer, takes care of the ball pretty well. So, again, it's difficult on a kid that, that haven't seen a lot of that throughout the year when it comes up. But that's going to be the kind of reminder that we're going to, get with her. Just you got to stay patient. You got to trust your teammates. Once they start, getting things rolling offensively, then you're going to start getting your looks.
All right, Coach. First postseason game, the Tigers hosting Webster City. What's going to be your message to the team before you take the floor tonight?
It's just going to be us. I mean, we've got to be the way that we played our last three games. We've played with a lot of energy. We played with a lot of focus. And again, we can't stray away from what we've been doing the best. And we've been defending the ball well. And we've shot the ball pretty well lately as well. So, it's just we got to be us. We got to do what we've done all season long. If we do that, good things are going to happen.
Spencer Tigers hosting the Webster City Lynx tonight at the Fieldhouse in Spencer. He's Matt Stevenson, the head coach of the Tigers. Coach, thank you as always for the time, and good luck tonight against the Lynx.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it.
Brian,
the
let's
first
do a
priority
minute.
at Boyd and Saylor Dental Associates is to make you smile. Their philosophy is to
Good evening and welcome to the Fieldhouse in Spencer. It is time now for some Class 4A postseason basketball between the Spencer Tigers and the Webster City Lynx. I'm Mark Magnuson. Thanks for joining us however you're tuning into tonight's game, whether it's on your AM dial at News Radio 1025, or excuse me, on the FM dial, or on the AM dial at 1240 AM KICD, or if you're streaming online at KICDAM.com. And also, thank you to everyone watching the SMU Spencer Municipal Utilities stream online as well. Thank you for joining us for this matchup between the Tigers and the Lynx. This is a Class 4A Region 8 quarterfinal. The Spencer Tigers carry a 14-7 record overall, 7-3 in Lakes Conference play this year for Spencer. The Tigers are 8-4 at home on the season. Spencer averages 58.1 points per game. The Tigers allow 45.1 points per game for a point differential of plus 13. For the Webster City Lynx, 3-15 overall this season, 1-11 in the North Central Conference in conference play. The Lynx finished the season 0-8 against teams that finished with a record above 500. And Webster City did pick up all three of its victories on the road this year, 3-8 on the road for Webster City. The Lynx average 36.1 points per game. They allow 44 points per game on average for a point differential of negative 7.9 points per game. It is time now for the starting lineups for both teams, and we'll begin with the visitors from Webster City. 5'5" junior, number 10, Kelly Stokes. 5'7" senior, number 20, Leah Cash. 5'8" junior, number 30, Shelby Queen. 5'10" sophomore, number 34, Livia Cash. And 5'8" senior, number 40, Jenna Miller. And now for your Spencer Tigers, 5'3" sophomore, number 1, Jada Piercy. 5'4" junior, number 10, Lexi Johnson. 5'7" junior, number 15, Allison Piercy. 5'10" senior, number 23, Peyton Cooper. And 5'7" senior, number 25, Olivia Ermiter. The Spencer Tigers led by head coach Matt Stevenson, the Webster City Lynx led by head coach Nicole Molenbach. We pause now for the national anthem. When we come back, it's tip-off between the Tigers and the Lynx here on News Radio 1025 AM 1240 KICD and KICDAM.com.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
News Radio 102.5 and AM 1240 KICD in Spencer, Iowa, part of the Spencer Radio Group.
We are set to go for tip-off between the Spencer Tigers and the Webster City Lynx, Class 4A Region 8 girls basketball first-round play, a quarterfinal here in regional play between the Tigers and the Webster City Lynx. It will be Allison Piercy to jump for Spencer. Livia Cash will jump for Webster City. Livia Cash at 5'10", Allison Piercy at 5'9". We are ready to go. The basketball is in the center circle, in the air, and Allison Piercy tips it forward to Peyton Cooper. Up ahead to Jada Piercy, who lays it in from the right side as the Lynx did not get back in time, and the Tigers strike right from the tip-off. Now it is Webster City in the backcourt against the Spencer Tiger pressure. Bringing it up the left side of the floor and racing into the front court is Kelly Stokes. She backs it out to Shelby Queen, now to the right side, and Livia Cash into the corner for Jenna Miller. Jenna Miller, the leading scorer for the Lynx at 8.9 points per game. Kelly Stokes averages 8.3. Leah Cash, 7.5 points per game. Into the paint, the shot blocked by Olivia Ermiter, who is the Spencer Tiger shot block leader on the season, as she erases the shot of Kelly Stokes. And Webster City will inbound the basketball in the front court on the end line of the Webster City basket. And it will be Stokes to inbound the basketball momentarily. She gets it in, or tries to Livia Cash, but the Spencer Tigers deny that pass well. I believe that was Peyton Cooper and Allison Piercy combining to help knock that ball away. So Webster City inbounds the basketball once again. Here's Jenna Miller, the leading scorer for Webster City. She hands the basketball off to Shelby Queen. Now back to the left side of the floor, and Leah Cash up top with Livia Cash. And to the left wing once again for Shelby Queen. Tried to enter it into the post, and Lexi Johnson with the steal. Lexi races across the timeline, and a blocking foul called on Webster City as the Lynx tried to jump in front and get that stop, but instead the blocking call on Shelby Queen. It is her first personal. So now Spencer will inbound the basketball into Peyton Cooper, makes the catch at the mid post on the right side, passes to Allison Piercy down the lane, missed the layup. Ball tipped out by Peyton Cooper, kept alive for the Spencer Tiger offense. Webster City in the 2-3 zone. Lexi Johnson for three. It rims out, no good. Peyton Cooper fighting for the rebound again, comes up with it. Able to find Lexi Johnson, who fakes the three-pointer after the miss a moment ago. And now Olivia Ermiter holds it on the right side. 2-0. Spencer Tigers in front. Allison Piercy at the free throw line to Ermiter for three. It's good from the right side for Olivia Ermiter, who is able to connect on her first shot of the night. Give the assist to Allison Piercy, and the Tigers lead 5-0. Webster City in the backcourt with Jenna Miller in trouble, keeps her dribble alive, and now a 10-second violation called against Webster City in the backcourt, and it will be a turnover for Webster City, the second of the game, giving the basketball back to the Spencer Tigers. Jada Piercy across the timeline. Dribbles to the right wing, now to a cutting Allison Piercy, too strong on the shot inside. Webster City keeps the ball from going out of bounds, but then throws the ball away. Peyton Cooper wrestling for it on the floor and is able to get a traveling violation called on Webster City. The Lynx were hoping for a jump ball situation, but Kelly Stokes actually rolled her body completely over with the basketball and was called for the travel. So the Tigers get the ball back once again, leading 5-0. Basketball stays at Spencer's offensive end of the floor. Lexi Johnson open for three. Her shot good from the left side. And the Spencer Tigers start off 2 of 3 from three-point range. Lexi Johnson and Olivia Ermiter each with a make. Spencer goes for the trap at midcourt, and now a blocking foul called inside against Peyton Cooper as Webster City presses the issue from the right side of the free throw lane. And Leah Cash earns a trip to the free throw line. First foul shots for either team here tonight. Foul on Peyton Cooper is her first personal. Leah Cash at the free throw line, misses on the first foul shot. Webster City has struggled as a team shooting free throws this year, just 47%. Leah Cash, a 48% free throw shooter. Her second free throw on the way and good. Webster City on the board for the first time tonight. Spencer leads 8-1, 5:30 left to play in the first quarter. Allison Piercy at the top of the 2-3 zone to Lexi Johnson. Back to Allison. Touch pass, Jada Piercy to Olivia Ermiter for three. In and out, no good. Nice looking shot. Webster City left Olivia Ermiter open, but she couldn't get it to fall. And now a whistle at midcourt. Ball knocked out of bounds by Allison Piercy, and it will be Webster City basketball. Webster City inbounding the basketball at midcourt. Leah Cash to make the pass in. She finds Allie Odlin, who's come into the game for the first time tonight. She will dribble at the top of the three-point line, picks up her dribble, and now to Jenna Miller on the right wing. Miller tries to drive baseline, stopped by Peyton Cooper. Now the ball reversal to the left side for Leah Cash. Jenna Miller starts her dribble drive, picks it up at about the mid-post. Now Odlin across the lane, kicks to the corner, jumper on the way, and too strong for Aurora Wiedemann, who's come into the game. And a rebound by Leah Cash inside momentarily, but the basketball loose in the lane, and then a jump ball called, and it will stay with Webster City. Maddie Maroney, Mo McDermott, and Haley Behrens come into the game for Spencer. And now the inbounds pass from Kelly Stokes. She gets the ball into Leah Cash. Johnson, Ermiter, and Cooper go to the bench for a breather. And now a traveling violation called against Webster City. Fourth turnover of the game for the Lynx, a team that average 13 turnovers per game on the season. Webster City only averages 36 points per game with their slow down pace. Right now the Tigers lead at 8-1. Spencer, a team that averages 58 points per game. Jada Piercy on the dribble to Mo McDermott in the corner. Now in the post to Haley Behrens. Her pass deflected and stolen by Allie Odlin. On the takeaway, Spencer turning it over. And now Webster City into the half-court offense. Leah Cash to Odland. Picks up her dribble at the free throw line. Back to Kelly Stokes. Dribbles across the lane. Dishes to the wing and Jenna Miller. Miller across the lane. Took an extra step and traveled. Good defense again by the Tigers. And that's now 5 turnovers for Webster City. Spencer will take over as Webster City drops back into the half-court defense. 2-3 zone. It's what the Lynx have been in all game long so far. We're halfway through the first quarter. Maddie Maroney to Jada Piercy into the lane for Mo McDermott. Gets to the rim and lays it in. Mo McDermott knifing right down the lane. The pass found her, and she's able to lay it up and in for her first points of the night. 10-1, Spencer in front. 3:40 left to play first quarter. Webster City pressured in the backcourt by the Tiger full court press. A throwaway right to Maddie Maroney, and she finds Jada Piercy, who brings it across midcourt to Mo McDermott in the lane. Inside to Haley Behrens. One dribble, goes up strong, lays it up, and it rolls in. Hung on the rim for a long time, but finally fell through. And now the Tigers jump out to a 12-1 advantage. 3:19 left to play in the first quarter. Allie Odlin across midcourt, had it knocked away. Webster City saves it with Kelly Stokes. She drives baseline. Kick out for the three, no good. Leah Cash, rebounded by Mo McDermott. Or check that, Haley Behrens. Now to Allison Piercy in transition, and a blocking foul in the lane as a big collision between Allison Piercy and Livia Cash for Webster City. Will send Allison Piercy to the free throw line for 2 shots as she was in the gather, trying to get the ball for a potential layup. And now Allison heads to the free throw line for 2 shots. The first free throw up and good for Allison Piercy, who has put together an outstanding regular season, leading the Tigers at 14.9 points per game, 5.7 rebounds per game. 30-second timeout here. We'll keep it right here with the Tigers leading 13-1. 3:02 left to play in the first quarter. Back to Allison Piercy, 2.3 assists per game this season and 1.5 steals per contest. Allison shooting 46% from the floor, 41% from 3, and 65% at the free throw line. Webster City's leading scorer, Jenna Miller, at 8.9 points per game, has yet to attempt a shot in this one, as Webster City has turned it over 6 times already. Kelly Stokes averages 8.3 points per game. She has yet to see one go through the net. And Leah Cash, the 3rd leading scorer at 7.5 points per game, does have the lone Webster City point at the free throw line. Allison Piercy back to the free throw line for Spencer. First free throw was good. Second free throw too strong, no good. Webster City the rebound. And the Lynx travel across midcourt. Picking up the ball to make the pass was Leah Cash. And as she did so, there was a Tiger in the passing lane. She dragged the pivot foot behind her. And it's turnover number 7 for Webster City. Again, the Lynx do not average a lot of turnovers in the big picture, 13 per game this season, but already 7 here in the first quarter. The lob inside to Peyton Cooper, who catches it and lays it in. And then Peyton gives a high five to Lexi Johnson as she runs by, a nod of acknowledgement for that assist provided by Lexi Johnson. Webster City across the timeline, Allie Odlin. Back to Jenna Miller, or make that Leah Cash. And the Lynx want to set up the half-court offense, trying to slow things down and get things under control. Miller down the lane, shot rejected by Cooper. Now Odlin into the lane, shot challenged by Cooper. And then Peyton Cooper comes up with the rebound after the missed shot. Spencer out and running. Lexi Johnson up ahead of the pack, made a tough catch. And as she went to spin and try to save the basketball, is called for the travel and gives it back to Webster City. 15-1 Spencer, 2:12 left to play in the first quarter. Lynx inbounding in the backcourt against the full court pressure of the Tigers. Inbounds pass to Jenna Miller. Now Kelly Stokes throws it away. Lexi Johnson comes up with the steal. Tried to set up Mo McDermott. Mo saves it from going out of bounds, but then Maddie Maroney called for the travel at the right elbow. As Maddie started to drive down the right side of the free throw line, took an extra step or two. And Webster City has it back. The Tigers able to set up the full court pressure. Inbounds pass to Allie Odlin. Now across the timeline, Leah Cash bumps into Mo McDermott, and a blocking foul called on Mo as Peyton Cooper helps Leah Cash back to her feet. She took a strong tumble there to the floor, but is back on her feet and looks to be okay for the moment. Mo McDermott will leave the game after picking up her first personal foul. Also, Maddie Maroney leaves to the Tiger bench. Olivia Ermiter back in. And Haley Barron's back into the game for Spencer. Leah Cash on the right wing for Webster City. The Lynx stuck on 1 point on the scoreboard. Jenna Miller's corner jumper, the long 2, is no good, but an offensive rebound by Webster City and a reach-in foul called on the Spencer Tigers. Tigers called for the reach-in foul, and it was Haley Barron's picking up her first personal. So now Webster City will inbound the basketball on the baseline. Shelby Queen will make the inbounds pass momentarily. Queen looking for a cutter. Unable to make the catch was Reese Casey, but she gets back to it and now feeds Jenna Miller on the wing. Miller down the right side of the lane, shooting foul, and Jenna Miller is going to the free throw line for 2. Foul will be called on Peyton Cooper. That is her second personal. And now at the free throw line for Webster City, the leading scorer on the season for the Lynx, Jenna Miller, averages 9 points per game. 69% free throw shooter, but cannot get the first to go. Slow start for the Lynx here in this first quarter on the offensive end. Just the 1 point through 6.5 minutes of game time. Second free throw on the way is good. And Jenna Miller with her first point of the game. It is now Spencer 15, Webster City 2, as Jada Piercy gets the Tigers into the offensive end of the floor. Webster City switching things up into a 1-3-1, it looks like here. Allison Piercy at the free throw line looking inside for Haley Barron's, and the pass deflected and stolen by Webster City's Allie Odlin. Odlin's been active on the defensive end. Already a couple of steals in this one. As the ball now down the lane, drops the pass to Leah Cash. Her short jumper is no good. Rebounded inside by Lexi Johnson, who finds Jada Piercy. Up ahead to Olivia Ermiter, stops and pops from 6 feet out. Too strong on the jumper, and the rebound inside for Webster City. The Lynx outlet it quickly ahead, which is a little bit unusual for Webster City, who likes to play a slow tempo, like to grind it out in the half court. Jenna Miller will try the deep three-pointer. No good off the rim and then the window. Spencer gets the rebound. Outlet pass from Jada Piercy to Lexi Johnson. Lays it up at the other end. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Haley Behrens lays it in from the right side. Nice cleanup on the offensive rebound there by Haley Behrens. Webster City quickly ahead to Reese Casey. 15 seconds left to play first quarter. Spencer 17, Webster City 2. Allie Odlin to the left wing, and Shelby Queen. Now Casey, 3 seconds left in the first quarter. Leah Cash, 1 second left. Into the lane, will not get the shot away in time. And the first quarter comes to an end with Spencer in front, 17-2. Second quarter next on News Radio 102.5 and AM 1240, KICD.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
It's the end of the day, and you just realized that you didn't stop at Spencer Municipal Utilities to pay your utility bill. Sign up for SMU's bank payment plan and start paying your bill the easy way. Stop by our customer service center or find the form on smunet.net.
As well as
Start of the second quarter from the Fieldhouse in Spencer, where the Tigers lead 17-2 against Webster City. A corner three right away for Lexi Johnson. The shot no good, but Spencer gets the offensive rebound. Now Olivia Ermiter for three. That won't go. And Spencer will go back to the defensive end after a couple of misses from three-point range. Spencer in the first quarter, 7 of 13, 54%. Webster City went 0 for 8 from the floor, 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Spencer leads by 15. Webster City with the basketball and its half-court offense, keeping the ball around the perimeter. Drive by Kelly Stokes. Knocked away by Lexi Johnson, but Stokes gets it back to Reese Casey. Now Allie Odlin rather. Into the lane, Jenna Miller, and Miller called for the travel as she tried to gather the basketball and go up for a shot from the left side. Whistled for the travel, and that's already going to be turnover number 9 for Webster City here tonight. Mo McDermott will come back into the game, replacing Olivia Ermiter. Minute gone here in the second quarter, and Spencer leads 17-2. Webster City staying in the 1-3-1 zone defense here to start the second quarter. Spencer inside to Haley Behrens. The quick hitter will send her to the free throw line as she draws the contact and the foul. It was a quick touch pass from the wing from Lexi Johnson into Haley Behrens. Behrens made the catch and went up immediately as she knew the contact was coming. The foul was called on Reese Casey, her first personal. Haley Behrens to the line for the first free throw, and it's good. Spencer in the first quarter, 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Haley Behrens hits both, and the Tigers now 3 of 4 at the line in this first half. 19-2 Spencer, 6:58 left to play in the first half. Tigers set up the full court pressure, get the steal through Jada Piercy. Allison Piercy lays it up, and an offensive foul called. The shot went, but wave it off. Good defense there by the Lynx, getting to the spot just as Allison Piercy was going up for the shot. She ran right into the defender for Webster City that got set in place. So Allison is called for her first personal. And now the Tigers set up the full court pressure once again. Webster City almost throws it away in the corner. Now Mo McDermott goes for the steal and gets there. Finds Lexi Johnson. She'll lay it up from the right side, rolls off the rim. And as Lexi tried to tip the ball out, it was an over-the-back call. But already 3 turnovers here to start the second quarter for Webster City, and the Lynx now have 11 in this first half. So already 11 for a team that averages 13 per game on the season. Tigers again get a deflection on the inbounds pass, and it goes out of play. It will be Webster City now inbounding it from a very tough spot in the corner against Spencer's full court press. Inbounds pass to Leah Cash. Now Livia Cash. Back to Jenna Miller, make that Stokes. Numbers are very difficult to read on the Webster City jerseys. A whistle and a reach-in foul called against the Spencer Tigers near midcourt. And that's going to be foul number 7 on the aggressive Spencer Tiger defense, which will send Webster City to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Foul was on Jada Piercy, her first. Free throw is up and no good on the front end of the 1-and-1 for Kelly Stokes. Spencer gets the rebound, now out in transition. Maddie Maroney, corner 3 on the way. Too strong. Haley Behrens the rebound inside. Behrens trying to get the pass out back to Maroney. Able to do so. Now Allison from the corner for 3. That won't fall, but Jada Piercy able to track down the rebound in the opposite corner. Jada now wide open. She'll try the three-pointer, and it's good from the left wing. Jada Piercy hits her second shot of the night, her first three-point attempt, and Spencer leads 22-2. Racing up the right side of the floor is Allie Odlin. Dribbles all the way into the corner and then jumps straight up, came back down with the basketball, and is called for the travel. A little bit surprised to see Webster City trying to pick up the pace a few times here in this first half. I know they're trying to break the Tiger pressure, but it's caused the Lynx to get into, I think, some uncomfortable situations handling the basketball like we just saw there. Dribble into the corner, which was right where Spencer wanted the ball to go, and the Tigers immediately doubled. Olivia Ermiter now in the front court for Spencer, with the Tigers leading by 20 points. Mo McDermott to Olivia Ermiter. Ermiter to Jada Piercy. The lob inside to Behrens, makes the catch and lays it in. The Tigers have found the soft spot in the zone a few times inside to Haley Behrens, who now has 8 points in this first half, and a timeout taken by Webster City with the Tigers leading 24-2. 5:31 left to play in the second quarter here on KICD Radio.
Oh no! There's an easier way. With SMU's bank payment plan, you can pay your bill without ever leaving your home. Log on to smunet.net and sign up for SMU's bank payment plan today.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
.531 left to play in the second quarter from the Fieldhouse in Spencer, where the Spencer Tigers lead the visiting Webster City Lynx 24-2. And right now on our Big Country 107.7 game of the night, it is a boys basketball matchup, Pocahontas area at Sioux Central. And Sioux Central in front 18-11 in that game on Big Country 107.7. Again, that is playoff boys basketball. Here at the Fieldhouse, Webster City with the basketball, crossing midcourt, still just 2 points on the scoreboard for the Lynx, but they get it inside to Olivia Cash. Cannot finish the layup from the left side, gets her own rebound, but it's knocked away by Maddie Maroney. And then Maddie Maroney was trying to run back up the floor and ran into a Webster City player who was knocked to the ground, Kelly Stokes. So Kelly Stokes is on the ground injured right now. And we will take an injury timeout with Spencer leading 24-2. 5:11 left to play in the second quarter on News Radio 102.5 and AM 1240 KICD.
It's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
The Spencer Channel 3 is online. Check it out. With Channel 3 Online, you can watch community and school programming, original shows, local cultural events on demand right from your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Access to Channel 3 Online comes free with your SMU cable subscription. Get started with Channel 3 Online today. Visit smunet.net for a direct link. Your favorite local programs are only a click away.
farm insurance needs.
After the injury timeout, Kelly Stokes back to her feet and walks over to the Webster City bench after taking a hard fall, Maddie Maroney ran into her after Stokes and Maroney got into a collision. Stokes knocked to the ground, but back on her feet and over to the Webster City sideline. So now the Lynx in the offensive end, but the Tigers go for the steal with Mo McDermott all the way to the opposite end, lays it up with the left hand, but it rolls off the rim, no good. Webster City gets the rebound and a double dribble called just at midcourt. Webster City continues to struggle with turnovers, now 13 in this first half. I could see Mo McDermott there was frustrated with herself after she did all the hard work, got the steal, but then went to the other end of the floor, laid it up, and it just rolled off the rim. 24-2 Spencer leads. 4:50 left to go in the first half. Into the post, Haley Behrens, and Behrens spinning to that left shoulder and hits the baby hook shot. And Haley Behrens having a first half. 10 points for Haley. Has not missed a shot in this first half. 26-2 Spencer leads. Webster City shot from just outside the paint, no good for Shelby Queen. And the rebound for Spencer, now Lexi Johnson in transition to Mo McDermott down the lane. Sets up Behrens again, lays it up too strong. And the basketball bounces around in the paint a couple of times before a Webster City player comes up with it. That was the first miss for Haley Behrens tonight. I think she was slightly surprised that Mo made that pass because Mo went up like she was going to shoot it, and then at the last second dropped the pass just in front of her to Haley Behrens, who did well to react quickly enough to make the catch, but then put the shot up, and it was off the rim, no good. Webster City in the front court. Tigers lead 26-2. Halfway point of the second quarter. Drive into the lane, and the Tigers come up with a steal. Mo McDermott knocked it away. Now Behrens to Mo down the left side of the lane. Takes the contact, no good. And Webster City comes up with the ball in the lane. The rebound for Jenna Miller. Tigers have missed some layups here in the second quarter. Some missed opportunities, in Webster City attacking the basket. Shot blocked by Olivia Ermiter after the initial miss by Jenna Miller. Tried to go up with it again. And now the Tigers run the floor, and the pass is too much. Ends up over the end line, and Webster City will get it back. So that's the fifth Tiger turnover. Mo McDermott, Haley Behrens, and Maddie Maroney come back to the bench. Allison Piercy back in, along with Peyton Cooper and Jada Piercy. Lexi Johnson and Allison Piercy pressure the basketball. Jenna Miller comes to get it, races across the timeline. Came to a stop, maybe got away with a travel. Long three on the way by Shelby Queen is no good. And then Webster City cannot handle the basketball as it goes out of bounds. Webster City has still yet to make a field goal on this one. Webster City is 0 of 12 from the floor right now. And the Tigers lead 26-2. Now a steal at midcourt by Shelby Queen. Keeps it in bounds. Comes to a jump stop. Takes the jumper from just outside the lane. No good. Gets her own rebound. Kicks it out. Three on the way for Jenna Miller. That won't fall. And the Spencer Tigers get the rebound inside Allison Piercy. Allison up the right side of the floor to Peyton Cooper in the short corner. She drives baseline. And a whistle as Peyton just stepped out of bounds on the baseline. Right now, this game feels like, yes, Spencer's leading by 24, but the Tiger lead could be even greater right now, with Spencer making a few mistakes in transition and also some misses at the rim. Shelby Queen tries to get the pass inside, and Peyton Cooper blocked it like a volleyball shot at the net. Spencer gets out in transition and misses another layup. This time it's Jada Piercy. A little bit of a tough lay-in as Jada was far underneath the basket as she tried to lay it up. Webster City misses a layup at the other end, and the basketball knocked out of bounds. Allie Odlin couldn't get it to go. And Webster City continues its shooting struggles and woes here in this first half. The Lynx have yet to make a field goal. Spencer leads 26-2 with 2:10 left to play in the second quarter. Lexi Johnson to Olivia Ermiter. Ermiter, the lob inside to Cooper, makes the catch and lays it in from the left side. Second time in the game we've seen Peyton Cooper make that catch up high, keep the ball up high, and then lay it in. Some good entry passes by the Tigers as well inside to Peyton. 28-2 now. Spencer leads. Webster City's Allie Odland to Leah Cash. Now Livia Cash. She'll line up the three-pointer. No good from the left side. Rebounded by Spencer's Jada Piercy. Running the floor, Lexi Johnson lays it in transition. And Lexi has her first 2-point make of the game. Now 5 points in the contest. 30-2. Spencer in front. 122 left to play in the first half. Webster City's Leah Cash to Shelby Queen on the right wing. She drives baseline. Stopped by Allison Piercy. Now the pass out top. Leah Cash, three-pointer on the way. Bounces around the rim, no good. Ball loose on the ground. Webster City able to save it. Back out to Jenna Miller for three. That rattles out, no good. Webster City still looking for its first made field goal of this first half. With 50 seconds left to play, Allison Piercy will try the three, and it's good. You knew Allison was going to hit a three-pointer sooner or later in this one. Had only attempted one, but that's her first made field goal of the game. Now has 4 points in this first half, and a travel called against Allie Odland just across the timeline. Spencer will get the ball back after the 14th Webster City turnover. The Lynx now have more turnovers here in this first half than they average per game. Spencer's Allison Piercy lobs inside to Olivia Ermiter, makes the tough catch and lays it in from the right side. Well executed by the Spencer Tigers once again on the high entry pass. Good trajectory into the post, and a nice catch and layup made by Olivia Ermiter, who now has 5 points in this first half. Tigers trap in the front court. Odland into the post for Livia Cash. Dribbles it back out. 10 seconds left second quarter. Jumper blocked on the shot by Leah Cash. Spencer out in transition. Ball knocked away from Allison Piercy just as she was going to make the catch. And the Tigers have it now with 1.9 seconds left to play in the second quarter. And Spencer will inbound the basketball near the Tigers student section. Lexi Johnson to make the pass in. Need to get the shot away quickly. Into Allison Piercy. Quick shot up at the buzzer. No good, just shy. And the first half comes to an end with Spencer in control. The Tigers lead 35-2 at the halftime break. We'll be back with the first half stats next on News Radio 1025 AM 1240 KICD and KICDAM.com.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Four-county area. Building with the generations of the past, present, and future, it's Consumers Lumber Company. 3 locations strong in Spencer, Spirit Lake, and Lake Park.
At the halftime break from the Fieldhouse in Spencer, where the Spencer Tigers lead the Webster City Lynx 35-2, quarterfinal round play in Class 4A Region number 8. And it's been all Spencer Tigers in the first half. The Tigers in the first quarter went 7 of 13 from the floor, 54%. Second quarter, 7 of 17, 41%. And the Tigers for the half shooting 14 of 30, 47%, 4 of 11 from three-point range, 36%, and the Tigers 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Spencer with 6 turnovers so far. For Webster City, 0 of 8 from the floor in the first quarter, 0 of 11 from the floor in the second quarter, 0 of 19 at the half for Webster City, including 0 of 5 from three-point range. At the free throw line, Webster City 2 of 5 in the first half. The Lynx turnover problems continued into the second quarter. 8 turnovers in the first quarter, and then 6 in the second quarter, now 14 for the first half. So Spencer in control at the halftime break. The winner of this game will advance to face the Harlan Cyclones, who have the first round bye, and it will be Harlan hosting the winner of this one. The regional semifinal will be played in Harlan Saturday night at 7 o'clock if the Spencer Tigers are to advance. Unfortunately, I will not be able to join the Tigers for that broadcast in Harlan. It will be Matt Gronwald taking over here on the KICD AM airwaves. Again, 7 o'clock tip-off Saturday if the Tigers are to continue here like they've played so far in this one and earn the victory. They will face Harlan on Saturday night. On the other side of the bracket tonight, Boone plays Perry. Winner of that game will advance to face Denison Schleswig at 7 o'clock Saturday at Denison Schleswig High School. We've got some other score updates for you that we can tell you about coming up in just a moment. We'll also have our individual scoring stats from the first half, all that next here on the Spencer Tiger Halftime Show, where Spencer leads 35-2 over Webster City. You're listening to Tiger Basketball on KICD Radio.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
At Spencer Municipal Utilities, we keep you connected. After a long day at work using our internet service for your business needs, we know you expect the same service at home. When everyone gets home and is using their devices while waiting for dinner, or online while winding down at the end of the day. At Spencer Municipal Utilities, we are keeping you connected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We keep you connected to your world.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Follow the Spencer Tigers. New for 2020, tune in for select Spencer Tiger home events on the Spencer Channel 3, live on Spencer Municipal Utilities cable service, or online on the Spencer Channel 3 YouTube channel. Spencer Tiger home events will also be rebroadcast on the Spencer Channel 3 this fall. For a schedule of when they will air, visit our website at smunet.net. Go Tigers from all of us at Spencer Municipal Utilities.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Mid-States Builders. Our customers are well built.
At the halftime break from the Fieldhouse in Spencer, it is a Class 4A Region 8 quarterfinal in girls basketball, and the Spencer Tigers leading the visiting Webster City Lynx big 35-2. Webster City still looking for its first made field goal in this one. The Tigers, on the other hand, have been able to turn over the Lynx, get out in transition, and speed the game up more to the Tigers' liking. And that has been the formula for success so far for Spencer in this one here tonight. Some other halftime scores for you. Lamar's leads Storm Lake in Class 4A Region number 1 at the half, 32-11. In Class 3A Region 1, it is Cherokee 35, Atlantic 24. Class 3A Region number 2, Esterville Lincoln Central 28, Forest City 22 at the half. Unity Christian leads Humboldt 50-30. And in Class 3A Region number 6, it is West Lyon in front of MOC Floyd Valley 23-8. On Big Country 107.7 tonight, we have a game that was shifted from Monday night because of the weather to this evening. It is a boys basketball matchup in Class 2A, and Sioux Central holding on to a 1-point advantage at the halftime break. Sioux Central leads Pocahontas area 31-30 at the half. For the Spencer Tiger girls in the first half tonight, the leading scorer for Spencer has been Haley Behrens. Behrens with 10 points in the first half. Jada Piercy had 5. Lexi Johnson with 5. Allison Piercy 4 points. Peyton Cooper 4 points. Olivia Ermiter 5 points. Mo McDermott with 2. And for Webster City, just the 2 points on the scoreboard, 1 point at the free throw line for both Leah Cash and Jenna Miller. Again, the Tigers lead 35-2, and both teams are out of their respective locker rooms. We are set to go for the start of the second half in just a moment. One more score update for you from Class 3A. Sioux Center leading Sioux City Bishop Elin 19-18 at the halftime break. Spencer Tigers on the floor with the starting 5. Olivia Ermiter, Jada Piercy, Lexi Johnson, Peyton Cooper, and Allison Piercy. Webster City responds with Kelly Stokes, Leah Cash, Shelby Queen, Livia Cash, and Jenna Miller. Good to see Kelly Stokes back on the floor. Took that heavy fall, had to be attended to, did make it over to the bench under her own power, and is back on the floor to start this second half. So that's good to see for the Webster City Lynx. Spencer Tigers defending to start things off. Jenna Miller down the left side of the lane, too strong off the glass on the layup. Allison Piercy gets the rebound, goes coast to coast, and lays it in. That is Allison Piercy's game to a T in just one play, getting the rebound at one end defensively and then to the other end laying it in as Webster City hits its first field goal of the game on the quick shot at the other end. It was Livia Cash from just outside the free throw lane with the first made field goal for Webster City, and a big smile on the faces of the Webster City players as they run back down the floor. Allison Piercy's 3 bounces around the rim like a pinball and eventually falls in as Allison hits her second made 3 of the game, now has 9 points, and Spencer leads 40-4 a minute into the third quarter. A lob pass stolen away by Jada Piercy. Outlet pass to Allison. She'll run the floor, lay it up, and it rolls home. And Allison Piercy has gone on a personal 7-0 run, or make that 7-2 run to start this third quarter. As we know, Allison can score in bunches, the Tiger leading scorer on the season at 15 points per game. Leah Cash inside to Allie Odland. Now in the corner for Jenna Miller's three-pointer. That's no good. Rebound bounces into the hands of Jada Piercy. Now to Lexi Johnson in transition. Into the lane. Scoop layup. Good. Lexi Johnson with a little bit of an okey-doke there. Went to the Euro step. Scoop layup from her right hand and is able to drop it in transition. At the other end, Webster City gets to the rim and it bounces around and out for Livia Cash. Spencer the rebound in the long outlet to Lexi Johnson, and a big collision right underneath the basket. Lexi Johnson called for the offensive foul, as getting in front to take the charge was Leah Cash. That is the second time tonight Leah Cash has stepped in and taken a big-time hit and popped right back up to her feet. Tigers go for the steal at midcourt and get it with Allison Piercy. She gets into the lane, bounces off a defender, and lays it in under control. She's fouled and will go to the free throw line for a chance at the three-point play. It's almost like Allison Piercy was just hiding in the weeds in that first quarter and second quarter, waiting her time, letting her teammates get involved, and then here in the third quarter has just exploded for already 9 points in this third quarter and at the free throw line for a chance to make it 10. Allison's free throw is on the way and good. Allison Piercy, the Tiger junior, now with 14 points in the game, and Spencer bringing a couple of players off the bench, make that 3 players off the bench. Maddie Maroney back in. Also Haley Behrens back into the game. And it's 4 new players into the game for Spencer, because also into the game for the first time tonight, Jera Merchant and Caitlin Weeks, as the dribble drive from the left side pays off for Jenna Miller, who lays it in for her first field goal of the game. And Spencer will take a timeout with 5:07 left to play in the third. Spencer leads 47-6 on News Radio 102.5 and AM 1240 KICD.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Needs.
5:04 left to play in the third quarter, and the Spencer Tigers lead Webster City 47-6. Maddie Maroney drives to the basket and lays it home as the ball rounded all the way around the rim and through for Maddie Maroney. She makes the lay-in, knifing across the lane, started at the left wing, came across the lane diagonally, was able to lay it in and was fouled, and now goes to the free throw line where she makes the foul shot, completing the old-fashioned three-point play. Webster City inbounds the basketball to Leah Cash with Spencer in front 50-6. Tigers continue to play in the man-to-man defense. Webster City passes into the corner for Livia Cash. She dribbles away from the corner to the right wing, or left wing rather. Now Allie Odlin down the lane, bobbles the basketball but saved by a teammate. Webster City sets a screen at the left elbow. Back to the top, and Kelly Stokes into the corner. Three-pointer up for Leah Cash, no good. Spencer gets the rebound. Caitlin Weeks, who finds Mo McDermott. McDermott weaving through traffic, gets across the Tiger logo at midcourt. Now sets up the Spencer offense in the half court. 4:12 left to play in the third quarter. Spencer in control, leading 50-6. Maroney into the post for Caitlin Weeks. One dribble across the lane to Mo McDermott. Mo to Haley Behrens right at the front of the rim. Missed the layup, gets her own rebound back, puts it up, misses, gets it back again, and it won't fall. Still fighting for the rebound. Jera Merchant comes out of the crowd with the basketball. I'm not sure how Jera made that rebound, but she did, as Behrens gets inside again and can't get it to go. And again, it's Jera Merchant with another offensive board. Now McDermott to Behrens for a 5th time, and Behrens gets the shot to fall right at the front of the iron. All about the hustle plays there made by Jera Merchant and Haley Behrens, who continued to attack the basketball on the offensive glass, and it finally pays off in the form of a Spencer Tiger layup. 52-6 Spencer. Shot off the mark for Jenna Miller, goes out of bounds as that one missed the mark. And Spencer will get the ball with the Tigers bringing 3 new players into the game for the first time tonight. Ivy Hamilton, Mary Mathieson, and also Jana Grettinger, replacing Mo McDermott, Haley Behrens, and Maddie Maroney. 2:51 left to play. We have a running clock with the Tigers leading by more than 35 points. So the clock winds down to under 2:45 left to play in the third quarter. And it's Mary Mathieson on the dribble now for Spencer. Mary picks up her dribble from the left wing, throws it over the top to Ivy Hamilton. Now Jera Merchant at the top of the three-point line. Matthiesen into the post for Jana Grettinger. Gets the shot up to the rim, no good. Gets it back and lays it in. Jana Grettinger aggressively going to the basket from the left block. I love the power dribble, too, to create a little bit more space. And then Jana missed on the first opportunity, but stayed with it, got the ball to go on the second shot. Jenna Miller into the lane for Webster City. Jana Grettinger there defending this time. Miller has the ball come right back down to her. Kicks it out now around the perimeter for the Lynx. Webster City nearly lost it, but it's saved by Kelly Stokes. Now a jumper from just outside the paint. No good for Webster City's Fallon Casey. And the Tigers have the basketball with Mary Matthiesen again across the Tiger logo at the half-court line. Now to Ivy Hamilton. Into the post for Caitlin Weeks. Tries to step through, and in the process, a little bit of a bump from the Webster City player caused Caitlin Weeks to shift off balance just enough to take an extra step. And Caitlin is called for the travel. 7th turnover for Spencer tonight. And Matea Lowe will come into the game for the first time, replacing Jera Merchant. So right now for the Tigers, it's Hamilton, Matthiesen, Lowe, Grettinger, and Weeks, the 5 on the floor. Webster City nearly turns it over, now does, as Matea Lowe comes up with the steal. Matea to Ivy Hamilton. Now Matea again on the right wing. Tigers feed it into the post again for Caitlin Weeks. Saves it, kicks it out to Matthiesen. Now into the post for Jana Grettinger on the left side. Back out to Ivy Hamilton. She drives down the lane, tries the runner. Ball blocked out of bounds, and it will stay Spencer basketball with the clock running. Under 40 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Spencer leading 54-6. Tigers will inbound it now with Mary Matthiesen. Needs to get it in, throws it long, was looking for Matea Lowe. Those two were not on the same wavelength, and Caitlin Weeks is able to save the basketball for Spencer. Now Mary Matthiesen once again. Dribble handoff to Matea Lowe on the left wing. Matea, couple of dribbles. Looking inside for Jana Grettinger. Good post defense by Jenna Miller. Now the Tigers reverse it. Mary Matthiesen dribbles away from trouble. Finds Matea Lowe, 5 seconds left in the third. Matea again picks up her dribble to Matthiesen. Shot at the buzzer, and it's bouncing off the rim, no good. Tigers get a decent look, but it doesn't fall. And after 3, it's Spencer 54, Webster City 6, here on KICD Radio.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Start of the fourth quarter from the Fieldhouse in Spencer, where the Spencer Tigers lead big, 54-6. Spencer in front, and the Tigers have the basketball to start the fourth. With the ball is Mary Matthiesen into the post for Jana Grettinger. Back out to Matthiesen, but a reach-in foul is called as Jana Grettinger went to make the pass into the corner. A reach-in foul called on Webster City, and the foul was on Jenna Miller. That is her first personal. Just the second team foul for Webster City. Spencer only with 2 team fouls in the half as well. Caitlin Weeks tried to save the ball near the timeline, and just as she went to make the pass, a defender came across and an extra step taken by the Tigers. 8 turnovers now for Spencer here tonight. Got some big contract news. Dennis Lynn of The Athletic reporting that the Padres and star shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr. have agreed to a 14-year deal, $340 million contract extension. In the meantime, a turnover by Webster City. Spencer gets it to Jana Grettinger again. inside, could not get the shot to the rim as two defenders came across and contested the shot. One partially blocked the effort from Jana Grettinger. Spencer back at the defensive end, leading 54-6. Webster City tries the dribble handoff. Here's Leah Cash, drives inside, kicks it out. 2-point shot on the way for Shelby Queen is no good. Spencer gets the rebound, and now Mary Mathieson on the dribble for the Tigers across midcourt to Jara Merchant, who's come back into the game. Now to Mathieson on the right wing, to a cutting Jana Grettinger, gets inside and is fouled, and Jana Grettinger will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Jana, you could tell, knew exactly where the defender was and that there was going to be some contact coming, so immediately went up with the shot, able to draw that contact and get to the line for 2 free throws. First foul shot up and good for Jana Grettinger. 3 points in the game now for Jana, all in this second half. Score update from the boys game on Big Country 107.7, Class 2A postseason play. Sioux Central leading Pocahontas area 45-43 at the end of the third. Jana Grettinger's second free throw is good. Nice looking free throws there from Jana Grettinger, who is a 5'11" forward, but judging by those free throws, able to shoot the ball just about as well as any guard at the free throw line. Webster City inbounds the basketball to Abby Galentine. Now back to Leah Cash. Galentine into the game for the first time this evening. Webster City tries to drive to the left block. A whistle and a reach-in foul called on Spencer. Ivy Hamilton called for the foul, her first personal. Clock continues to run with Spencer leading by more than 35, so we are down to 5:45 left to play. Spencer 56, Webster City 6. Reese Casey into the lane for Webster City. The Lynx pass it to the top of the three-point line, and Leah Cash. Now Abby Galentine. Webster City getting to the left block and stopped by Ivy Hamilton. Now Cash down the lane, goes up too strong on the shot. Ball loose in the lane. Caitlin Weeks able to grab the basketball and hold on to it with 2 strong hands. Now Matea Lowe in the front court for Spencer, starts to drive. Ball was off of the foot of a defender and out of bounds, and Spencer will keep it. Jana Grettinger going to come back in for Spencer. Dasha Sankey comes into the game for Webster City, as does Aurora Wiedemann back in off the bench. Mary Mathieson will inbound the basketball for Spencer. Lobs it in to Jana Grettinger. Jana making the catch beyond the three-point line. Now will dribble, get to the left block. Backs it out to Mary Mathieson, who tried the runner from just outside the lane, and her shot was blocked. Webster City comes up with the basketball. Tigers in front by a score of 56-6. Corner 3 on the way for Sankey, no good. Webster City has not hit a three-pointer here tonight. And in the tussle for the basketball, a jump ball was called, and it will be Webster City ball. So the Lynx get to inbound the basketball again at the Webster City offensive end. 4:04 left to play. Webster City at the left elbow. The drive down the lane by Chloe Anderson. Jumper up and no good for Aurora Wiedemann. And again, another jump ball in the lane as there was simultaneous control of the basketball from a Spencer Tiger player and a Webster City player. The arrow favored the Tigers that time, so Spencer gets the ball. Mary Mathieson across midcourt, gets a screen from Jara Merchant. Now Jara with the basketball. Spins at the free throw lane, passes to Ivy Hamilton. Now to Matea Lowe on the right wing. Matea, the dribble drive into the lane. Kicks back out to Mary Mathieson. Mathieson crosses over. Inside to Jana Grettinger on the bounce pass, and Jana lays it in. Beautiful setup there by Mary Mathieson. Drew the help defender to her, split the 2 defenders with a great bounce pass, and then good hands by Jana Grettinger to make the catch and lay it in. Webster City cannot handle the basketball near the sideline. Loses the ball out of play. 18th turnover for Webster City as Caitlin Weeks comes back into the game for Matea Lowe. Clock continues to run as the Tigers wait to inbound the basketball. 2:45 left to play. Mary Mathieson brings it across midcourt. Now finds Jana Grettinger. Jana on the dribble. Crosses over at the left elbow. Out to Jera Merchant. Jera down the lane. Tries the runner at the rim and banks it in off the glass. It's good. Jera Merchant with the strong drive right down the heart of the lane. Gets her first basket of the night. And it's 60-6. Spencer in front with 2:20 left to play in the fourth quarter. Webster City's Aurora Wiedemann to Abby Galentine. Now out for a three-pointer at the top of the arc. No good from Dasha Sankey. Spencer has the rebound. Mary Mathieson on the dribble. Mathieson gets a screen, drives into the lane, sets up Caitlin Weeks, who lays up and in. Another assist for Mary Mathieson. And Caitlin Weeks this time set up at the rim by the Tiger point guard, and a nice catch by Caitlin to lay it in. Spencer will bring Peyton Cooper back into the game. So the Tigers have Peyton Cooper, the lone senior, on the floor with Caitlin Weeks, who is a junior. And then Jera Merchant, Jana Grettinger, and Ivy Hamilton, who are all sophomores. Spencer gets a steal. Peyton Cooper with the basketball, and Peyton's going to run some point guard right now, it looks like, as she brings the ball up the floor. Tried to make the pass on the wing. It ends up with a teammate. Now gets it back, rolls to the rim, lays it up, and it's good. Peyton Cooper with the basket. And now Olivia Ermiter is going to come into the game, replacing Peyton Cooper. So Coach just wanted to get Peyton Cooper a round of applause here from the Tiger home fans. One of two Tiger seniors. Well done for Peyton Cooper. And now Olivia Ermiter into the game for her chance to get some recognition as a Tiger senior. A foul inside called against Spencer on the drive to the rim by Webster City. And it's Leah Cash at the free throw line for Webster City. Free throw is up and no good for Leah Cash. And now Olivia Ermiter will get a round of applause from the Tiger fans. Two Tiger seniors checking out of the game here and getting recognized by the Tiger fans in attendance, as this will be the final Tiger home game. Spencer's postseason run will continue, but it will be on the road starting at Harlan on Saturday night at 7 o'clock here on KICD Radio. Second free throw good for Leah Cash. 64-7, Spencer in front. 1 minute exactly left to play. Mary Mathieson, another lob inside, this time for Jera Merchant. Back to Mathieson. Mary will dribble it back out beyond the three-point line. Now drives inside, lays it up from the left side, no good. Rebounded by Webster City. The Lynx try to push it ahead to Jenna Miller. Miller gets to the baseline, returns it out for Wiedemann, and her three-pointer is good. Aurora Wiedemann knocking in the first three of the game for Webster City, and it's 64-10, Spencer Tigers. Mary Mathieson will bring it across the timeline, pass to Jana Grettinger, and the Tigers are going to hold the basketball near midcourt if possible here and try to run out the clock with 15 seconds left to play. Mary Mathieson on the dribble once again. Spencer 64, Webster City 10, as the Tigers will look up to the scoreboard and will dribble out the clock and now get a standing ovation and round of applause from the Tiger fans here in attendance. Spencer earns the victory at home here in the first round, quarterfinal round of postseason play, Class 4A, Region number 8. Our final score, Webster City 10, Spencer 64. The Tiger postgame show is next on News Radio 102.5 and AM 1240 KICD.
We have several convenient ways to pay your bill with Spencer Municipal Utilities. Sign up for our bank payment plan and have the amount due taken out automatically on the due date. Put your payment in the mail. Use the drop box in front of our office. Make a payment online through our website or mobile app. Utility customers can make a payment by phone. Our payment window is also open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. As a reminder, until we have our billing systems completely integrated, we aren't able to take your communication payment by phone. If you have questions on what might be best for you, or if you need assistance setting up a different payment method, feel free to give our customer service a call at 580-5800.
Spencer Municipal Utilities. We keep you connected to your world.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Follow the Spencer Tigers. New for 2020, tune in for select Spencer Tiger home events on the Spencer Channel 3, live on Spencer Municipal Utilities cable service, or online on the Spencer Channel 3 YouTube channel. Spencer Tiger home events will also be rebroadcast on the Spencer Channel 3 this fall. For a schedule of when they will air, visit our website at smunet.net. Go Tigers from all of us at Spencer Municipal Utilities.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
The Spencer Channel 3 is online. Check it out. With Channel 3 Online, you can watch community and school programming, original shows, local cultural events on demand right from your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Access to Channel 3 Online comes free with your SMU cable subscription. Get started with Channel 3 Online today. Visit smunet.net for a direct link. Your favorite local programs are only a click away.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
Final score at the Fieldhouse in Spencer. The Spencer Tigers defeat the Webster City Lynx 64-10. It was all Tigers in this one. Spencer got off to the early lead, led 17-2 after one. Tigers led 18-0 after two. Outscored Webster City 18-0 after two to lead 35-2 at the halftime break. Spencer would outscore the Lynx 19-4 in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, Spencer outscores Webster City 10-4. And I'm joined now on the post-game show by the head coach of the Spencer Tiger girls, Coach Stevenson. This game tonight, you could tell the Tigers were all business right from the get-go. Spencer looked like a team that knew it was expected to win this game, came in, handled its business, and the Tigers get the win 64-10. You're able to hold Webster City to just 3 made field goals. Pretty great way to start the postseason run for the Tigers.
Yeah, it was. I mean, defensively, we set the tone. And again, you know, my biggest concern is the pace of the game. You know, watching them on film, they usually did a pretty good job of slowing things down and taking you out of what you wanted to do. And you give credit to our girls. I mean, they came out and they battled, and they applied a lot of pressure. They rotated well on defense, and then when they got to the half court, they still applied that pressure and did a really good job.
And the Tiger defense has been really good this year. We've known that because we've talked about it a lot. And the Spencer Tiger offense we know is very potent, but is the Tiger defense right now the tone setter for this Tiger team?
Yeah, I mean it's really came on the way that that we intended it to, and we're getting a lot more communication on the defensive end. They're starting to rotate with confidence, so they're getting themselves in the right position, and that's a big part. If you can get yourself in the right position, you're going to take away team strengths, and I think our girls did a really good job of sticking with our game plan, knowing the strengths of their players and taking those things away. And when you can do that, and if you rebound, which we did okay at tonight, but it turns into a pretty tough defense. So, again, we got to keep setting the tone that way. Especially against a Harlan team that scores the ball really well, that we'll play on Saturday. They shoot it really well. So, again, it's going to be a major, focus these next couple days in practice.
Also, you get a chance to have a lot of different players in the game tonight, 11 different scorers, and something else that we've continued to talk about as well, coming off the bench, you don't see that dip from the Tigers when the other players come into the game. It's not like some starters come out of the game and all of a sudden the Tiger offense goes stagnant. It continued to keep moving, and the Tigers continue to play that great defense as well.
Yeah, like I've been saying all year, we've got kids coming off the bench that are our starters for a lot of teams. That's the great thing about this year is we've built ourselves some good depth, and that's paying off for us big time here down the stretch. So, again, I'm really happy with the effort that all the kids put out there. Like I said, it would have been really easy for us to go out in that second half and just played flat, but they kept the intensity, they kept their focus. And I think they really wanted to keep them under 10 points. So we had a little bit of a laugh in the locker room and questioning who gave up that last three, and we won't say her name, but she feels bad about it.
You can still be happy about limiting Webster City to just 3 made field goals. A great defensive effort from the Tigers tonight, and you alluded to it. Next up, now Spencer will play Harlan at Harlan Saturday night, 7 o'clock right here on KICD. And quickly, Coach, how do you think the Tigers match up with this Harlan Cyclone team? Because you look at the numbers on paper, and if you didn't know which team you were looking at, they're very, very similar.
Yeah, I mean, it is really similar. I mean, they shoot the ball well. Their 3-point percentage is about the same as ours. Size-wise, they're very similar.
Did you notice as well, too, points allowed and points forced for each team is like within a point of each other? It's kind of weird how similar the two teams are.
Yeah, it is. And, again, we've had we'll dig into the tape tonight, tomorrow, and kind of see what we got. But from what I've heard and from what other people have told me, they want to play fast. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. You just got to hope for an off night and that you can take care of the ball and score on the offensive end. So.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great win here in the first round. We'll look forward to that matchup at Harlan. Best of luck. I'm not going to be able to make that one. Unfortunately, I'll be at State Wrestling, but I'll be listening in. Best of luck to the Tigers.
All right, thanks, Mark. I appreciate it.
Spencer Tigers get the win here tonight by a final of 64-10. Let's continue with our game stats. Spencer in the first half shot 14 of 30, 47% from the floor. 11 of 18 in the second half, 61%. And for the game, 25 of 48, 52% shooting for the Tigers. 5 of 12 from 3, 42%. And Spencer taking care of business at the free throw line, going 7 of 9, 78%. The Tigers able to keep the turnovers in check, just 8 turnovers for the purple and gold. For Webster City, it was a tough first half shooting the basketball. 0 of 19 from the floor, 0 of 5 from 3. Things did improve a little bit for Webster City in the second half. 3 of 13, 23%, 1 of 6 from 3. For the game, Webster City goes 3 of 32, 9% shooting, 1 of 11 from three-point range, 9%, and 2 of 5, Webster City finishes 3 of 7 at the free throw line. And the Lynx did have their turnover problems tonight. Average 13 per game on the season. Tonight had 18 turnovers for Webster City. Again, Spencer led 35-2 at the halftime break, and the Tigers would go on to outscore Webster City 29-8 in the second half. Leading scorer for Spencer in this one was Allison Piercy, who finished with 14 points. Allison had 4 points in the first half, 10 in the third quarter alone. 12 points for Haley Behrens, 7 points for Lexi Johnson, 6 points apiece for Peyton Cooper and Jana Grettinger, 5 points for Jada Piercy, 7 points, as I mentioned, for Lexi Johnson, 3 points Maddie Maroney, 2 points for Jara Merchant. Olivia Ermiter finishes with 5. Peyton Cooper had 6. Caitlin Weeks with 2. Haley Behrens 12. Jana Grettinger 6. Mo McDermott 2. I think I read a few of those like 3 times. For Webster City, 3 points tonight for Aurora Wiedemann and Jenna Miller each, and 2 points for Leah Cash and Livia Cash. With the victory, Spencer improves to 15-7 overall. Webster City falls to 3-16, and that now sets up the matchup on Saturday night in the regional semifinal. Class 4A Region number 8, Spencer will be at Harlan Saturday night, 7 o'clock. We will have pregame for you at 6:40. Matt Gronwald will have the call of that game. I will be at State Wrestling, and the Spencer Tiger tip-off again is at 7 on Saturday. Some score updates for you. Final score, Unity Christian defeats Humboldt tonight, 94-63. In the boys game on Big Country 107.7, Sioux Central able to pull away in the fourth quarter and defeat Pocahontas area by a final of 62-51. Also at last check, Cherokee in a bit of a game at the end of the third quarter. The Cherokee Braves girls basketball team in Class 3A led Atlantic 49-43. That's going to do it for our Spencer Tiger coverage here this evening. Join us again on Saturday night, 7 o'clock from Harlan, as the Tigers will take on the Cyclones. For Brian Schmidt back at the KICD studios, I'm Mark Magnuson. You've been listening to Spencer Tiger Basketball on News Radio 1025, AM 1240 KICD, and streaming online at KICDAM.com. Also, thanks to Spencer Municipal Utilities for our live stream of the game tonight as far as the video is concerned. So thank you to Spencer Municipal Utilities. You've been listening to Tiger Basketball here on KICD Radio.